Good day, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. My name is Darren and my ham radio call sign is N4VFR. Alright, I'm just going to make a quick video on how to make a transformer for a loop on the ground antenna receive only system. This is the reference website that I'm using. It's W8JI Beverage Antenna Construction. There's a lot of good information here. I'll leave the link on the description, so all you can do is just click on the link. This is what I use to build my transformer for the loop on the ground. So just scroll down here to where you see transformers. Okay, here we go. Transformers. For the coax side, you'll be utilizing 2 turns, and that's for the 50 through 75 ohms. If you're using a 75 ohm cable as your transmission line, this would be 5 turns. Okay, here's the number 5 over here. So that'd be 5 turns for the 75 ohm. And if you're planning on using a 50 ohm cable, it's going to require 6 turns, and that's how I got my information for using 6 turns. The materials I'll be using is a 73 core ferrite binocular. We also have an enclosure box, an SO239. This is a I had some spare SO239, so I plan on using this at 50 ohms. And we also have a magnetic wire. It's a 30 gauge magnetic wire for our windings. While doing a trial fit on this enclosure right here using the SO239, this it's kind of fat. So with regards to this case, it's not going to fit. Alright, so I had it like this, and I can't put the cover on flush because the SO239 is bigger than the case, so you can see the gaps there. It's not going to seal properly, so I kind of like wasted this material, but this could work for a 75 ohm connector. So for the meantime, I can't use this one. What I am going to use is this. So this is a junction box. I think I purchased this off of Amazon. If I did, I'll leave the link in my description. But look at the size difference. I could have used this, but I needed to probably use the 75 ohm connectors instead of the SO239. But I've already made this. I want to show you my construction of this box. So inside this box, if you can see here, I have the SO239 in there. In order to weatherproof this, you see there's a little gap right there. I'm going to have to use some silicone, some adhesive caulk, and put that in there. So right now I just put the fasteners and the SO239s on the inside. The transformer hasn't been made yet. I have some ring connectors for the inside and ring connectors on the outside, along with the wing nuts. And this is how I had those connected. Let me just take this apart. So this is what I have. Let me show you how I put this all together. So I have this bolt here, and I'll put the ring terminal, and then I put that on the inside of the junction box, just like that. Now on the top portion of the junction box, I'll put the washer, a nut, another ring terminal, and that ring terminal will connect to the wire that's for the loop, and then a wing nut. And this case is not waterproof because of the holes. So what I'm going to use, I'll just use I have some spare caulk. So I'll just use this caulk. It basically, what does it say here? It's a plumbing, actually, for plumbing. It's an adhesive caulk. So I'll use that once I do final assembly. Now the top of the case has a seal here for weatherproofing. And this will be on the outside, out in the elements, so I do need to have some weatherproofing. Now this wire is 30 gauge, is very tiny, and they're all the same. So what I did was I labeled the binocular wire on one end and coax on the other. I turn it over, wire and coax, so we can distinguish how I'm going to connect that to the junction box. Okay, we're going to work on the coax side because that's the shorter of the wires. We just need to make 2 turns. So starting from the coax side where I have it labeled, what you do is you take the wires and make sure it's long enough. This side is long enough to make connections to the box. Okay, so if this is going to be mounted in the middle, you need to have a long enough wire to touch the SO239. And here comes the second loop. Okay. I forgot to mention this 2-turn is for 50 and 75 ohms winding. Alright, that's the coax side. Alright, moving along, we're going to do the turns for the wires. Alright, for 75 ohms, there's supposed to be 5 turns, but I am going to be using a 50 ohm cable, so I need to produce 6 turns. So starting on the wire side, this is the wire side. Now I have it pointing in the right direction. 6 turns. Okay, that's one turn. I want to take the longer strand and go through the other side. I think it would be better if you just use regular thinner wire with a with the plastic coating or plastic protection. Let me do that. I'm still on one. I'm going to put it through. This is number 2. Okay, that's 2. Okay, that's 3. See how it's all tangled up? I'm going to have to take that one out. Meanwhile, with technical difficulties, see, it's twisted. There you go. All right, now it's 4. 2 more turns. Okay, that's 5. 5 turns. Okay, good. That's 6. So that's what it looks like now with 6 turns to the wire side. Okay, so we have a lot of excess wire. I'm just going to estimate where I'm going to have the transformer located in the middle and just basically get an eyeball, get a little bit of extra wire here, right there, and I'm going to cut it there. It doesn't matter which wire goes to the ground and which one goes to the center conductor. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solder the coax wires to the SO239. Okay, it is done. You know what was a pain in the ass? This magnetic enamel wire, you have to burn off the enamel on the outside. So I had to superheat the tips of the wire. Okay, I had to superheat that. Here's an example. I don't know if you can see it. I had to heat this wire so hot with solder to melt that enamel that's on here. All right, so once I got that, just enough of that enamel burnt off, I crimped them onto the ring connectors, and I went ahead and soldered them also on the inside. Now, on this transformer to the coax connection, I kept flipping this over, and then it broke here, and I had to resolder it again. Again, burning the enamel off. It took a while, so I didn't record that because I wanted to focus on getting it done. And so I've tested the continuity. Everything is working. And on the next video, I'm going to show you how I have this all connected with the what do they call that? The loop on the ground. It's getting late here. I got to get ready, ready for work tomorrow. I got a new station. I got to go all the way to Philadelphia instead of Reagan National Airport. I got a new domicile. So here it is. What I need to do is, because this is moving, I'm just going to get some double-sided tape and just tape that on the inside so it doesn't move around and loosen the solder joints. Okay, I'm just going to test continuity. So these antenna wires should make a good contact. Now the center and the ground. Of course, the center and the center. And then the shield. So everything is connected. There's no break in the line. I'm doing this test to make sure that the enamel was melted away, that the wire is actually making contact. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching. We got the transformer set up, and hey, on my next video I'm going to actually cut the wire, and I'm going to connect it to the transformer and see how the receive is compared with my DX Commander. So that should be very interesting. And what I plan on doing with this antenna, this loop on the ground, is perhaps make that my receive antenna on HF for antenna number 2, or receive antenna number 2 on the Anon G2, and maybe later on maybe try out the diversity receive and try to cut out some of that RFI noise that I have here at this station. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, click on that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you get notified when I post those videos. My name is Darren, and my ham radio call sign is N4VFR. I'll say 73s, and you guys have a great day.